So I am doing a vlog because I feel it's important to get this out and also for self-advocacy. I woke up on Monday, August 14th with some stomach pain. Not a lot, but some. During the day, it kept on getting a little bit stronger, but I kept on ignoring it and pushing it back and just doing what I needed to do. I went to PT for my knee as I had knee surgery in December. And I did, carried on my day as normal. Went to bed early that night because I didn't feel very well. Woke up early on Tuesday and it was much worse. As the day went on, it kept on getting more uncomfortable. I couldn't sit very well. And nothing, it just kept getting worse. At about 1:30ish, I called my mom and I told her that after my meetings that I probably was going to go to the emergency room. She said that she was going to come over in case before I needed to go, and I said probably not because these are important meetings. I had a meeting at 2 and a meeting at 3. So during my meeting at 2, I started getting pains down in my genital areas, like really strong pains, and I couldn't, it was all over the place. And it got to the point where I could not function, and I had to tell the meeting people that I was on the meeting with that I had to go to the hospital. My mom was here at that point. She took me to the local urgent care. We got there and they got me back right away because I was in a lot of pain and they could tell. The doctor there immediately said that he could not help me, give me pain meds, and he said I should go to the hospital. And I said, I just want to figure out what's going on. He said, I can give you a CT scan. I said, perfect. I just need to know what's going on. As I was waiting in the room, I kept on getting what I could only think of and only describe as contractions. I've never had children, but they were just these hard pains that would last a minute or so, 30 seconds to a minute. But I was just having horrible pains. I could hear the doctor outside basically saying, oh, she's in a lot of pain. She's in a lot of pain. But nothing was being done to help me. So after about a half an hour of being in this room alone with my mom and in horrible pain, I made the decision that I needed to go to the hospital and to get a ambulance to take me, as it was the easiest way to get in and to be seen. So we said we needed an ambulance. So they called an ambulance. Took the ambulance about 20 minutes to come get me. They brought me in, and they brought me to the waiting room. So, because there wasn't any room in the back. The EMT, who I am very thankful for, went and talked to a nurse and basically told her how much pain I was in and that I needed help right away. And they were able to get me back within 10-15 minutes of me sitting in the waiting room. I went back to a room. They took my vitals. They put a IV in my upper arm, on my right arm. And my vitals were kind of normal. My temp was 98 something. Note that I normally run about 96.8 to 97.1. And so 98 was higher for me. My pulse was sitting at about 95, 96. So it wasn't like I was stable at that point when I got into the ER. Took about an hour to get any pain meds into me. And then they brought me to CT. And they gave me a CT scan and brought me back and gave me more pain meds. and then I waited about an hour. Now, during this time, I was freezing cold, shaking. I could not get warm. I asked for blankets. They put blankets on me. My mom put her coat on me. They did not retake my temperature, however. They just gave me blankets. They came in about an hour later and said that I had a perforated bowel and that they're going to have to admit me and that they were going to talk to the surgeon. They came back later, about 20 minutes later, and said that they were not going to do surgery at this time because I was stable. They were going to admit me, put me on antibiotics, and talk to me the next day, which would have been Wednesday, March 16th, about non-surgical options. Mind you, I was in a lot of pain still. I was having contractions still. I was shivering. I was very feverish. Again, no vitals were taken. At this point, nothing. By this time, it was about 6 o'clock, maybe 7. It took another 2 hours for me to be brought into a room. So they brought me to a room, and there was a doctor who came and talked to me. And by this time, I was exhausted. They had given me a lot of pain meds. And I was asking the doctor why I wasn't going to have surgery. I had a perforated bowel. I was in pain. I could go septic. And he said, well, where the perforation is, it was just gas, and that they weren't really worried about any fluids or anything leaking. It would just be the gas part. I told him that I was shivering. I told him I was in a lot of pain. And they took my temperature and my heart rate to do the intake. And I was at 103 temperature, and my heart rate was at 117. That is when the doctor said that he was going to go call the surgeon because I had gone downhill very fast. He came back and said that I needed to have emergency surgery right away because my fever spiked pretty high. 103 was pretty bad. So at about 10 p.m., I was rolled down to the surgical floor. And mind you, I had a lot of drugs in me. I was exhausted. I had been there since about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And so a lot of people were talking to me. They were giving me more drugs down there. I had to sign all of this paperwork and all of this stuff. They were telling me about the surgery, and I just wanted to sleep. They rolled me into the surgery room. I remember them putting on a mask and counting backwards from 10. I hit 1 and I was like, I'm still awake. And then I woke up in recovery. Lovely lady in recovery. She asked me how I was doing. I said I was in pain. She gave me some fentanyl. And then I told her I just wanted to sleep. She kept on waking me up, and I kept on telling her to go away. So I wanted to sleep. So she kept on telling me that she would let me sleep. And at about 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 4:30, they just brought me back up to my room. The next morning, one of the doctors came in and told me how bad the infection was inside of me. And if I would not have had surgery, that I probably would have gone septic overnight. Now, what that means, I don't know. What would have happened to me, I don't know. I don't think I would have died, but I might still be in the hospital. I might still be in the ICU. I might be learning how to rewalk. I really don't know. I had 3 doctors tell me how bad the infection was, so I know it was really bad. I spent 5 days in the hospital. with intravenous IV. I had to get antibiotics twice a day. I now have a colostomy bag, my new friend, that I have to have for 6 months. While my intestines heal, I also have an 8-inch incision from right above my pubic bone all the way up above my belly button. I'm not going to show you because if I showed you one, then you see the other, and I know I don't want to show because it's some people might be offended by the colostomy bag. I also had a JP tube coming out to drain anything, so I have a large hole in my stomach as well from that. It is something that it's a new world. I'm still a little lost. I was discharged from the hospital on Monday, so I've been home for 5 days. It's been hard to sleep. It's been hard to do a lot of things. It's kind of a new life. There's a lot of grieving involved. It was very traumatic. I went through a lot of trauma. But if I had not pushed the surgery, if I had not pushed that doctor, if I had not kept on asking about why I wasn't doing surgery, I don't know. So I guess the moral of the story is be your own advocate, especially when it comes to your medical. This will be reversed in 6 months. I have to go in and have another surgery, so that way they can put my intestines back where they belong. So this is temporary. I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky that everything kind of worked out how it is. However, at the same time, I have to figure out how to live for the next 6 months with my new friend. I've named him Wally. And again, I still have the staples. Still, I have about 32 staples in me right now. So it's very traumatizing. It's very traumatic for me mentally. It's going to take me a while to recover from this. But again, I'm very lucky. The bags under my eyes, you can see how dark they are. I have not been sleeping very well just because it's very uncomfortable. But things will get better. I've been walking around. I've had less pain. So it will get better. So that is my story. And yeah. So I will continue to vlog because I was going to vlog about all my hiking trips this year, which obviously is not going to happen. But I will continue to vlog on my recovery and how I'm doing. And so it's going to be fine. All right. Peace.